Welcome everybody to another episode of Uneducated MMA. I'm your host with the most, Wanderbred. Joining me to my left is the BMF champion of the world,
Let's go.
REG. And welcome to another episode. Glad to be here. This just in is, what did he say? This just out for the time being. Yeah, he's off busy doing who knows what. He'll pop up at some point. He's probably off fighting tigers or a gorilla or something.
Probably 100 gorillas. Not 100 gorillas.
He told me he was training. I don't know. He said he has to undergo some serious training. Something about up in the mountains of Tibet or something like that. Finding Raj Al Ghul or someone. I don't know. He's up to something. We'll see what he's up to.
Looking for that little flower.
Yeah. He's got to go to the trials, man.
Yeah.
He's the next prodigy.
Hell yeah.
I was born on the doctor.
Shout out Justin.
He's going to pull up on the episode, shaved head with the Bane mask, and just be like, hey, bud, what happened in a week, bro? You good? Like, no, I'm fine. I'm
fucking jacked.
Yeah, just, Jesus Christ, man. Like, I'm here to take over the city. You're like, Justin, what happened, bro?
Yo, what the fuck, bro? It's like, oh, no.
You know, sometimes the homies just go through something. You know what I mean? It's just change, and you just got to accept it. You got to roll with the punches. You got to be there for them. You know what I mean? Whether they decide to take over Gotham or whatever it might be. But yeah, we're going to bring you another episode of talking to you about, we're going to go over the recap of UFC 315, but to keep you guys really informed, as we love to, give the fans everything we can, this episode is filmed today is Tuesday, May 13th. On our way into the studio, we got some pretty crazy news.
Breaking news.
From Dana White, which we were waiting on.
Big Dana.
I'm not going to lie, I was like, oh, Justin can't make the pod, maybe we'll try to reschedule or whatever, and then I saw a tweet this morning where it was telling me that I was like, Dana White going live later, and I was like, we're doing the podcast.
He always goes live when we're about to record.
I think Tuesdays now have become like a pretty important day. I think it seems like that's when they update the rankings and whatnot. And Dana seems to be going on live on Instagram or Twitter or whatever to like post and say like, hey, this is what happened and here's what's coming up. We'll get into that. I feel like I owe 315 justice to go over the recap first, and then we'll get into all of Dana White's fun news as much as I want to just be like, ugh. About that. Tell me you didn't think at first, like, I think we spoke about it where, like, on paper, we were like, oh, okay, 315, cool.
It was all right. It was
all right.
I'll pull up. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this fight something to do on a Saturday. Who's the main card? Or as Justin would say, what's his name? You know what I mean? I gotta give him the joke because he's not here. But yeah, on paper, I'm not gonna lie, this wasn't the best card. I don't think that anybody was like super excited. I definitely had like a couple of fights in there that I was like very much looking forward to, like posted on the Instagram, Valentina Shevchenko and everything. Yeah. Very excited to see some of those. Bilal, as much as people hate on him, guys, you have to admit, like, he's that dude.
It's funny because like I need to just start being like neutral for all fights. Because every time I start to I even slightly became a fan for it. I was kind of like because I fucked with Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
So I was hating on Bilal for a while. And leading up to this fight, I finally caved in like a week before the fight. Like, you know what? I fucks with Bilal.
You're like Canelo hand.
Yeah. I watched all the countdown, the UFC, and the embedded and all that. And I was like, you know what? He ain't that bad. I fucks with him.
I've been a fan of his since I want to say like the Leon fight. When he got like poked in the eye, I was like, I didn't really know who he was back then, so I was like, all right, let me look into this guy, and then I started watching his fights because I like at that point I knew the name. So then I was like, all right, let me watch and see. And I feel like he's been on a good run. He got the title, and I was very excited. And he had a good performance on Saturday, but unfortunately, he didn't do enough to retain the title. It's been an interesting weekend. A lot of hate for Bilal. A lot of love, though, coming out of it. But the biggest thing has been, like, how you would score, I guess, that fight. I've been hearing a lot of mixed things, man. I've been hearing a lot of people saying, like, 4 rounds to 1. But I'm not going to lie. The loudest thing I've been hearing is a lot of 5 rounds to 0.
Really?
People think that JDM just took the whole thing.
Honestly, from what I saw, he looked like he pieced him the fuck up.
He did.
I'll
give you. I feel like in my opinion, watching it back, I'd say 4 rounds to 1. I think the fourth round specifically, I think you have to give it to Bilal. But I would say the rest of them, JDM was just he made it his fight. So like, I heard Luke Thomas from Morning Combat give this comment here where he was saying that like a lot of people have been saying this, and even on the commentators they were saying it, and it's true that like why isn't Bilal shooting more? Why isn't he going for more takedowns? Why isn't he doing this, that, and the third? It's like, well, you have to understand JDM's not letting him. Like that's the big.
You had amazing.
The big part.
Takedown defense throughout that fight.
He did, and then also like every time they would get into any sort of like, let's say it was like he stuffed a takedown and they're working their way back up, they get in the clinch and they go break. He's landing clean shots in the clinch. Do you see the photo of Bilal's lip?
Yeah,
that was bad.
God, dude.
That was bad. I was wondering.
It's like someone just like.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was wondering why he didn't have like a normally like even if the champ loses, they'll let them have a couple minutes on the mic or something like that, like what's next for you or whatever. But he was immediately out of the octagon, and I was wondering why. And then they posted the photo, and one part of his lip was this way, and the other one was that way. And I was like, that makes complete sense.
What is he gonna say?
Yeah, nothing.
We're just gonna see a hole in his face.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
He's
banged up.
A literal like hole in his face,
dude. It was bad. It was bad. There was a lot of. I'm not gonna lie. That whole card, there was a lot of violence.
Yeah, it was a very
a lot of violence.
Yeah.
Earlier on in the night, I wrote it down. What was it? Marc-Andre Barrios almost killed Bruno Silva.
Bro, that was nuts.
I don't think Bruno Silva's okay. Have we heard? By the way,
nobody.
Fans, has anybody heard from Bruno Silva? Is he okay?
Has updated nobody on this man, bro. He literally got his skull cracked.
For those of you who don't know, in the first round of their fight, Marc-Andre Barrios basically he dominated the fight, got him up against the fence, and just pieced him up as he's coming down, landed crazy elbows straight to the dome. And there's a slow motion video that you watch it, you see that when he lands the elbow at one part of his skull, you can almost see it dent the skull. And I immediately texted you, and it was like, yo, guys, I think he broke his skull.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know if you saw that, but I think he broke his skull.
He never even like.
He stood a chance.
Even moved after. You know when people kind of like move? No, he was literally out cold for
that's another part. Even though sometimes people get KO'd, or you at least see them like go sit on a stool or something like that. But when you see this guy is just unresponsive in the corner, you're like,
they pulled a stretcher out for this man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
With neck fucking braced and everything. Like,
shout out. What was
how you know it's some gladiator ass shit. Like,
what was her name? Shiming, the doctor that head kicked that.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Shiming. Yeah, gave him the Shiming treatment out in the stretcher, put him in a body bag.
Jesus.
But seriously, somebody check in on Bruno Silva and get back to us. Somebody in the comments, let us know, because I'm concerned for his safety.
I honestly thought, I was like, yo, is this the first like death I'm gonna see him?
Yeah, I know. Every now and then you get a crazy knock, you're like,
this is the first one I see with my eyes, like live on TV.
Do you think like when you're in the like stadium when it happens that they just like shut the lights off to like carry him out, because they're like, you shouldn't see this, you shouldn't watch this?
That'd be fucking nuts. It's like, what happened when like, I don't want to get into it.
No, dude, it's really. Let's get into it. It's really
so
really funny to me.
Owen Hart or like.
Maybe we should have got it.
That's what I'm saying.
Go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what did they do with this?
They for sure shut the lights off. I think at first they had the lights on and everything like that, but once they realized that something was like really crazy, they were like, they gave a signal, shut the lights off. They put him on like a stretcher, get him out of there. There's no way they just like. Let all these thousands of people be witness to us carrying out a body.
That's crazy.
I thought it was gonna be something like a moment of silence in the octagon kind of thing.
Bro, I was definitely was like, because he really, I think it was like a good like 10 minutes, and then they panned over again, and he was still in the same like knocked out position he was when he started.
And it's also really dark when you have them like, how do I put this? You have them almost dead, I want to say, in the corner, because like, they're unconscious and everything like that. But there's a difference between like they got clipped and they got knocked out and they're like, oh, you got to wake them up a little bit, or like when they get choked out, they got to like pick up the legs, get the blood flow back to the head. I totally get that kind of stuff. But when you have somebody who like you're like, I'm actually genuinely concerned for his well-being, like or like a Justin Gaethje KO when he fell, and you're like, that looked like a corpse drop. Like there was just no life. Lights are fully off.
Lifeless, like.
And they're lifeless in the corner, and they're just like, I just want to give a shout out to my family, and and they're giving all the love in the world. And the interviewer's so happy to see him, and you just see like the foot in the back. You don't show him on the camera, but you see the foot in the back. It's over here. That's when it's messed up. You're just like, guys, can we check in on him? This is the first time I want you to
definitely see him in the background while he was talking.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're like, this is the first time I want to skip the interview and please just point the camera at the body.
Yeah,
like,
forget what you're saying right now. Just go right to the.
I need to know what happened. Please and thank you. But yeah, someone reach out to Bruno Silva and his team and let me know. Put me in contact. We'll get him on the pod just to make sure he's good.
These elbows, and it's funny because like since they changed the rules, I haven't seen yet like too many like illegal. Crazy elbows.
No, they really they haven't seen like illegal ones, but I'll say like in the last few weeks, I've seen a lot more elbow use for sure.
Yeah, right. So
like Patty on Mike Chandler, like that was crazy. Man, like Michael Chandler just straight up was just getting just pop, like
I've been seeing a lot more, legal elbow use.
Yeah.
Since they changed the rule.
Yeah. There's been a lot of crazier moves. Like another one, and we'll get into it in a second, but like Jose Aldo threw a soccer kick at what's his name? Ayman Zahabi.
Yeah.
Like he straight up just I think he was lucky enough. He had both hands on the mat and like pushed his way up to like stand up. And as he was maybe like a couple of inches off the ground, just took a smooth, like you're going for you got the goal in sight, soccer kick to the face, and he still stood. So shout out to him. But I've been seeing.
Help us stand up.
I was saying like I mean there's like we were talking about it. We were talking about it before the mics turned on. Yeah, we're. You were saying how like you feel like some like boxers, like you brought up I forgot who it was that has said it, that they need to like maybe pay them the way they pay UFC fighters, stuff like that, to make them hungry, because like I've been saying recently, some of these fighters, man, these up and comers, you could tell that they want it, like
because a lot of them are just like the superstars are getting paid like crazy, and then there's like everybody else that's in the either average to low, that kind of like
they're just trying to make a name for themselves.
I don't know, it's just losing. Money always ruins the art.
It does.
You know, like
it's a weird thing because I guess it gives them like a pathway to be able to go to like a better camp and stuff like that. But at the same time, like you definitely see like the fighters like we give like Conor McGregor, who we have sitting right here. He gets up and wakes up in silk sheets, as the expression goes. It's like how much do you really want it to come back to the sport? Or even if you're currently, let's say, ranked in the top 10, how much you want to keep going. The question we always have about Kevin Holland of whether or not he wants to be a champion or is he just here for a paycheck? Like how serious do you take your training camp going into the fight, stuff like that? That's what we got to see a little bit more of.
Speaking of Kevin Holland, like the fighters that kind of like lose one, win two, lose two, win one, like those that are they'll stay in like the top 10, but like 10, 9, 8, drop down to 13, maybe stay. Those are the fighters that kind of intrigue me the most. Like. Doesn't matter how many times they're knocked out. They still find a way to get a dub later.
You got to, man.
So opposed to like a fighter that becomes champion, gets knocked out, completely falls off. It's like, I don't know, like the ones like Jose Aldo that kind of sticks around forever.
Well, they're like, what do they call them? They call them like journeymen. So, like Slash, I guess you can throw in like gatekeeper in a way. Like those guys that they kind of they hover around like the top 10, but like the top half of the 10.
Dominic
like the
Reyes
8 to 10.
when he won that last one.
Yeah.
It's like stuff like that. It's like, oh, snap, he's still... Good for him.
Yeah, I know.
Like, how'd you figure that out?
It's good to see, man. It's always exciting. Like, I feel like, I mean, you see it also sometimes with the younger guys when they're on a losing streak and they get that W back. So, like, this weekend, Benoit Saint Denis getting that dub. He's a 2-fight losing skid by KO TKO. Like, that's, you're getting your ass whooped, son. And you decide, all right, bet, let me go in here in front of, well, I guess you wouldn't call it his crowd because he's French, but they were in Canada, so he's not French-Canadian. But I guess the UFC was like, it's kind of the same. Everybody's kind of the same.
For the most part, you speak French.
We'll throw him in there. So they got him in there, and he decided, he's like, I bet I'm going to get this late replacement, and I'm going to just murder him in front of this crowd, and I'm going to get cheered on. And he did exactly that.
Yeah,
and now you got the energy back. He's like, I bet we're back in the win column, baby.
Yeah, that's how, sometimes you just need that, because it felt like they kind of handed him a dub.
I mean,
in a way.
No, because like he had like a scheduled fight against a killer. I'm not gonna lie. Beforehand, I thought he was going to lose the previous fight, but he was able to get an opponent last minute. And I feel like no matter who that last minute opponent is, for the most part, you're gonna have a bad time. There are the guys that stay ready. But there is something about being able to train for the guy that you're like scheduled to fight for. It's like studying for a test.
Who was this guy? he did not seem ready to me.
This was Kyle Prepelec. He did not seem ready. He did not seem like he really wanted to be in there.
Yeah,
he definitely took a check. I'll tell you right now, the boy took a check.
He went in there and like he really actually took a lot of punches. That was a tough fighter, but
he got beat up.
He got beat the fuck up.
I was waiting to see like
when is he gonna get knocked out?
That was kind of what I was about. That was what I was going to say. I was kind of waiting to see when he was going to get knocked out because to me it seemed like he was doing good. He seemed like he was handling like pretty well. Like at least the timing of his punches, he was able to evade some of them. But then the moment I feel like got to him, the pressure got to him, and then he just kind of let Benoit Saint Denis start teeing off.
So once he started getting like tired and like the. Bro, it's funny the way when he was on the ground and he got him with that submission.
Yeah.
And the way he helped him like complete the submission.
Bro, I need you guys to go and watch and see if you can find the clip of the finish.
He got me.
See him at one point, like he's just like, all right, bro, you're doing it. You got to put your leg over here to this side. And then he goes, I bet. Like, it's so
he
bad.
Guides him to complete the submission on himself.
He was done. He was checked out. That man was done. He was over it. He really wasn't feeling being there.
I'm getting my ass whooped. I am tired. I can't even throw a punch.
No, I feel like that was the move for him. He felt it in that moment. He was like, I'm trying to go out, but I at least need him to look good, so we're going to put this leg over.
And then, like, was it Benoit Saint Denis?
Yep.
He ends up, like, picking his arm up like this is the real winner for thugging this out.
I mean, dude, like, you come in.
Look at this fucking.
You come in the like the last minute notice replacement. You helped him get a somewhat bigger, I guess, of a paycheck because I want to say he got a fight bonus. I want to say
a round of applause for the man that fucking
for the victim. Shout out to this guy.
Everybody, shout out to this amateur that decided to fight me today.
Terrible idea, man. Terrible idea. That was a horrible thing to do to him. But I definitely think that they could have picked somebody maybe a little bit better. But hey, shout out, he got the victory. Definitely forgot what we were talking about, so we're gonna continue on with the card because I don't know how we got to the subject. But
I think we were still in the card.
No, we were still in the card, but we were definitely talking about something that led us to get into.
It was Aldo and the
elbow from
elbow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got it. Anyway, Bilal Muhammad getting messed up. Getting messed up. Bilal Muhammad getting messed up.
He got knocked.
Bad. So
jabbed up the whole time too.
Yeah, he got pieced up. I definitely don't think he gets a rematch because of the way the fight went. Because like I said, people are debating whether or not he lost 4-1 or 5-0. That's still either one horrible. Doesn't qualify for a rematch, unfortunately. I don't think this is his last time fighting for a title though.
Right.
He has a lot of tough competition ahead of him, though, is the unfortunate thing. I will say this, beforehand, the mentality with him, and I think it will remain, and that's why I like him as a fighter so much, has been that he's willing to take on whoever. He's willing to take on the challenges. He's calling out the young guys, the hungry guys. He's like, I'm here to fight whoever it is. So with that, if he maintains that and he understands that, like, it's not going to be an easy road, which I think he understands fully.
Right.
I think 100% we can see him back in a title shot picture for sure.
Who do you think he fights next?
That's an interesting question. So I have a fun little list here of people that I have it's a mixed bag of people that are looking to get a title shot. Ian Gary, Joaquin Buckley, Shavkat Rakhmonov, and Sean Brady are all next.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
Now you have to throw in Islam Makhachev in that mix as well, since he is fighting next for the title against JDM as announced by Dana White earlier today.
Okay, so he's gonna fight.
That throws a big wrench in a lot of people's plans.
That's huge. He's gonna fight JDM.
Yeah. So Islam is fighting JDM now. They're gonna fight, I believe, later on this year. Now, with that being said, that just holds up anybody getting a title shot anytime soon. Granted, with that being said, JDM just fought, so I don't see him fighting anytime soon anyway.
Right.
But what that does mean now, for the list of names I said before Islam, do they want to fight sooner than that? And do they want to wait to like be the next one? Because sometimes waiting gets you the title shot versus taking a fight.
No, true.
So do they want to wait or do they want to take a fight? And then in which case we have now, let's see, so we got Ian Gary, Joaquin Buckley, Shavkat, and Sean Brady. We got 4 guys because Bilal's out for a little bit. Bilal got pieced up. He needs to heal. Them stitches are going to take a little bit. So out of those 4 guys, who do you think is being matched up to be able to like get to the title next? Joaquin Buckley is fighting Kamaru Usman, so that one already got a.
It's the same weight class.
Yeah, it's the same weight class, 170.
Oh yeah, because Leon. Yeah, you're right.
So that one already got.
Because I haven't seen Usman in so long that I kind of like.
Yeah, it takes.
He got misplaced in the.
It definitely gets that, but that one's already a fight that got matched up. So he's kind of already taken. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like he's gonna beat Kamaru. Come that fight, I think he beats Kamaru, and he's still in that title picture.
I agree. I'm gonna have to see if it wasn't for the fact that like Bilal needs to recover. I really was impressed by Sean Brady's performance.
But here's the thing: is Bilal already beat Sean Brady and beat him bad. He beat him bad.
I think this was a different Sean Brady. This last fight against Leon.
So I get that. I totally understand that, but I don't know if they do a rematch off of that though. Do you want to see that, or do you want to see a fresh matchup? Throw him against a Shavkat or an Ian Gary, because Ian Gary already fought Shavkat. So you either do
who won that one?
Shavkat. Ian was a late replacement.
I say give Sean Brady the title shot after this.
So have Sean Brady wait, then you would have Ian. Oh no, because then I guess everybody kind of waits then.
Yeah, right.
Everybody kind of waits then.
Oh, so he would have to. Who else is there?
I feel like you have Joaquin fight
Gary.
No, you have Buckley fight Kamaru, because that one's already scheduled.
Okay.
Let's say he beats Kamaru, then you have him fight Gary, and then I think you have Shavkat. He's got I don't know, man. Who?
The Bilal.
There's too many people that are
gotta
like
fight Bilal.
I guess you would have him wait and fight Bilal. That would make the most sense. Let's look at the
yeah, or Gary.
I gotta pull up the rankings now, because that's an interesting thing, man. There's too many people in the mix. Yeah, JDM winning really threw a wrench in all this.
And then what happens if Islam loses? It throws everything completely.
Well, that's another part of it, is that Islam says he's gonna maintain both belts, allegedly. So if he moves up and wins, he says he wants to hold both belts. So if anything he loses, he just moves back down to 155 and just keeps running shit there. So I think he'll be fine.
So when you vacate the belt, he didn't actually vacate it?
So that's the thing. Ilya fully gave up the belt to move up to 155. Yeah. And it seemed like the story around that was that he had to give up the belt to move up to 155.
Right.
Don't think that's the case with Islam.
Oh, I thought this was okay.
I also thought that was a universal rule. Me personally,
when I saw the news, I thought he vacated it completely.
No, apparently not. Apparently he's gonna try to keep both. I don't know if he's gonna actually do that. But I was also listening to DC and Chael Sonnen earlier. And Chael Sonnen, listen, say what you want about Chael. I love Chael. Actually, undefeated. He made a valid point, bro. Once you move up, you don't want to make that weight cut again. You move up to and you bulk up to 170.
Imagine how great you would be if you got both belts and you defend them equally.
You would be amazing. You'd be amazing.
Yeah. You can't wait for this, and then you go up, wait for this fight, and then you go back down for this fight. And you go.
Off of last episode, where we were discussing like adding more weight classes, where I was like, I don't understand if adding too many weight classes, because you're adding too many people. It's kind of like mixing it up too much. And it's like you already are having a superstar issue. When it comes to this, if you had a sense, this is where I'll agree. If you had a situation where it was like every 5 to 10 pounds there was a title, then I get that, but that's 15 pounds, bro. Yeah. You gotta cut back and forth. I guess it depends on how often you're fighting to defend that belt, but I would say most champions want to fight at least twice a year. So like, what do you fight once a year in each weight division? So that means everybody there's only one shot per year for your chance to become a champion. Like, that's not fair.
Well, like, that's like John Jones.
I like the thing of a double champ, but I think at this point you gotta give that up. You gotta give that up, and you only be one weight division. You gotta choose. You move up, you become that champion. You stay there, and the other belt goes vacant, and whoever then comes in can take that belt. I also feel like there should be a time limit on how long you hold the belt without fighting. A la John Jones needs to get rid of that belt, and Tom is the undisputed champion. I think it's like, bro, like you can't just hold off.
Yeah.
Like how long can you hold off without fighting?
He's been holding up that whole heavyweight division
I think
for
you need
so
to
long.
fight once a year, once every 365 days. You have to at least.
I think it's been like 5 years.
That's no.
How long has it been since he's been really kind of like in the way holding up the division?
Who, John Jones?
Yeah.
Right now.
No, but before that, there was the interim.
Yeah, before that, it was kind of the weird thing of him like kind of like leaving light heavyweight and like when he was going to be back. So that's also another time he did it. But I don't know. That's
And
been
he comes in,
years.
just beats Cyril Gahn real quick, gets the, and it's like,
But that's what I'm saying.
he's
Like
just, holding shit up.
If you're gonna do it for like 6 months, whatever. But when you hit the full 365 mark, I think you have to vacate the belt, and then it goes to whoever the next fight that's like the number 2 or 3 ranked like heavyweights or whatever it's gonna be, or whoever the next contenders are. But when it comes to like who's gonna fight next for the title, you have Islam already booked to fight it. But then after that, I don't know, man. I guess it's kind of like a mixed bag. The only other thing I can think of is if you do Shavkat and Sean Brady. That'd be a fight that you would do next.
Fight,
That's like available. Leon Edwards is still there. He's still ranked number 4.
Oh yeah, Leon.
So you can do Ian
Usman
Gary
again.
No,
Usman
Ian
3.
Gary versus Leon Edwards.
Oh no, they don't need no 3.
He's
Ian
so
Gary,
Leon.
That's a good one.
Leon is ranked 4. Ian Gary's ranked 6.
Leon needs to be given like a striker for once, so he can like maybe try to. I don't know. A lot of times.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think he's gonna. Bro, ready? JDM is the champ, so that I would say that's maybe the only one that you can consider just a full blown striker. But besides that, Bilal Muhammad, Sean Brady, Shavkat Rakhmonov. Then you got Leon Edwards at 4, Kamaru Usman at 5, Ian Gary at 6. Anybody around him that he's most likely gonna get matched up with is gonna wrestle him, bro.
I know. I hate to see a great fighters career end because of wrestlers like this man.
I mean, here's my thing with that is like if it's just the weird thing. If you want to see strikers and you want to see these like crazy battles back and forth, kickboxing. Watch Muay Thai. You know, like there are those avenues.
Why doesn't Conor just join kickboxing?
Well, to be fair, he's still like under UFC contract. I don't think he can do anything right now.
Soul to soul.
Is it the same reason why you don't see him like boxing or anything like that? It's because he's still under contract with them. He still has to get those out of the way. But yeah, that one's gonna be. I don't know what happens next with that one, man. JDM did really good, and he's
that was impressive.
He's improved. It's the crazy thing is not only is he on this crazy win streak, but he's also improved in that time. So now, like with the takedown defense, like another thing that was said on the DC and Chael Sonnen podcast. Again, I don't know the truthfulness to this. And then Dana White actually, no JDM. Yeah, Dana White said this about JDM earlier. When it was going to be Bilal versus Islam, hypothetically for the title. Islam was a heavy favorite. Now that it's Islam versus JDM, it's almost even.
Really?
So I don't know if that takedown defense really like made people be like, I don't know if Islam can take the belt. But
those punches were so accurate, and the flow.
It's hard.
The flow of his striking was like
it's smooth,
so smooth.
It's crisp. That's why I texted you guys a few days ago when I was like, bro, I'm watching JDM, Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I was talking real crazy on the podcast, but I don't know. Like,
and it's funny because I never would, from what I saw on like the countdown, I never would have thought of this.
It's a recency bias, man. You forget the fights that you see unless you keep going back and you see like the highlights of stuff or you watch the full fight. You forget. So like after a while, if they haven't fought in like 6+ months, you don't even think about it. And then I go back and I decide to watch like the most previous fight, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I need to go cancel that parlay. Take the L and remake this bitch because I don't know what I just did.
I should have.
It's bad, man. It's bad. There's a lot of moments like that where I feel like I'm like, oh, this dude's fucking ass, bro. He ain't got nothing. And then I watch his most recent fight, and I was like, he almost killed that man. He also got wheeled out on a stretcher, like. He's real bad. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. I have faith that they're going to come up with some pretty crazy matchups. To my knowledge, as much as we were just talking about that, I don't know if any of those people were included in Dana White's crazy nonsense that he announced. Let me check. Nope, not a soul. Not one of them was announcing any of that. So I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen at 170. We'll see. Hopefully they get some interesting choices and people will start moving up in the ranks and we see what happens.
That's
Buckley and Kamaru are the only ones that right now have a match that, to my knowledge. Again, put it in the comments, guys. Remind me. I don't be checking too much. It's a lot, you know what I mean, to keep up with. But put in the comments and let me know because I believe it's just those two. But other than that, I don't know what else pairs you would do. I feel like Brady and Shavkat, book it. Dana White, hire me.
Yeah.
Moving on. Valentina Shevchenko. Versus Manon Fiorot.
Valentina.
I called it, man. Valentina was just too much all over the place. Like I told you, like on the feet, grappling. She's just a veteran at the sport, bro. She knows how to use her gas thing. She knows when to push the effort in certain areas to get it to where she wants it. I'm not gonna sit here and act like she steamrolled Manon. Like Manon did good, but I think Valentina is just the more experienced fighter, so she showed that, and that's the reason I think it was said that she's now the first fighter to complete a full belt worth of rubies, which means she has defended the belt an insane amount of times.
Damn.
An insane amount of times. Like I'm talking. Put her in the Hall of Fame as an active fighter an insane amount of times. I love that when you have somebody like, and this goes across any sport, where you just know that they've done enough that they're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like they're in it. You're just like, I can't wait to see what else they do. It's like, what else could there be for them? That's exciting. So shout out to Valentina Shevchenko for doing that.
Nobody can beat her.
You know, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
So we always ask the thing after someone wins, what's next? You just said, ain't nobody can beat her. As somebody I think that can beat her. Ooh. And we were just talking about people moving up in weight classes to become double champ.
That's what we're doing.
Weili Zhang.
Weili Zhang could definitely beat her. Yeah. She could definitely beat her, yeah.
Double champ, baby!
Weili's
as much as I love Valentina Shevchenko, Weili, I love Weili, bro.
Weili's one of my favorite female fighter.
Yo, I think she takes that. I'm like it's another thing of a veteran tactician versus the up and coming hungry champ. But I don't know who wins that one. I would say favored would be Weili.
Yeah.
I feel like, but
she would have to go up.
She would have to go up. You don't know?
Yeah.
You think the size difference is really that big?
Because she's very, I don't know. What do you think she walk around? I don't even know. When it comes to like women.
I don't know.
When they walk around, like what way is she walking around?
I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like it's rare that I see like women miss weight. So I have to say that they walk around probably like 10 pounds to 15 pounds heavier than where they're at the most. And so like the weight cut isn't like a huge thing. Maybe at the higher weight classes, they might walk around a little bit more. Like, again, it's really weird. I know it's this whole thing where like, oh, you shouldn't talk about women's weight, but there's also the whole thing of like Kayla Harrison cutting down all the way down the way what she does. So
I feel like we're fighting this like, we're talking about weight classes, of course.
Yeah, I know you got to get real specific.
We got to talk about weight.
So with that stuff, that's where you have to see like when it comes to the size. I think that they match up in size. I think Weili might be a little shorter than her, but I feel like they got to be around the same like build maybe. Let's see. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Valentina is probably like what? Like give me a guess. Like 5'5". What should be like? She's 6'7", bro. In my book.
I'm trying to remember from like.
I just want like the stats sheets, guys. Let's see, where is...
Well, I'll go with 5'5".
5'5".
Just take the same.
We'll take it. I feel like that works.
We're gonna say like an average height.
She's 5'5" on the money.
Okay.
125 pounds. Reach is 66 inches. Okay, cool. So then now we want to get...
She's strong, though.
Shorty is strong. She's Russian strong, bro.
I know. Who do you think is a better wrestler? Grappler?
I don't know. The thing is that Weili, I feel like, is also very strong. So I don't know.
She has like a core little like. You see? Was it her that picked up Shaq?
I would say, yeah. I would say like overall knowledge, I would probably go with Valentina. I think is more well-rounded in certain, like, I'm gonna say grappling. You know what I mean? So I think that she might be able to get out of certain things a little bit easier. But I don't know.
We have seen Weili kind of like
Weili's only 5'4", so she's not. It's not that huge difference between the two of them, man.
We've seen Weili get into we'll throw hands with a couple fighters, and like it's probably best I take you to the ground, kind of.
Her team name is crazy. Beijing Black Tigers. Insane. That's Weili's team name.
Beijing Black Tigers?
It's a 3-inch difference in the reach. I think that this would be a much closer fight than a lot of people would.
Yeah,
I think when this fight, if it gets booked, I think you're going to see that the betting line is like pretty even.
Pick who you want.
Man, I feel like I'd put. I feel like I'd go with Weili.
I'd go with Weili, but to be realistic, it's gonna be a lot closer than I want it to be.
Yeah, because
I wouldn't bet on Weili.
Because there's also like Valentina's also one that she knows when she finds the path to victory, she's gonna take it no matter what people think. Like, let's say if it comes down to like she's like, I need to just wrestle this girl and just hold her down and just kind of like piece her up on the ground as best as I can. She'll do that versus like, let me get into a stand-up striking war. I find that it's a lot more likely she's gonna do something like that versus her be like Max Holloway, like right here, you know what I mean, type of thing. I'd love to see it, man. Book it. I'd love to see it. Book it. That's a good thing, I guess. The good and the bad thing when it comes to like the women's MMA, you can kind of like mess around a little bit more in that because I'm not gonna lie, some of those divisions aren't as stacked. Like we were just trying to figure out like, bro, who would be next for this besides obviously Islam being already decided, but like, there's so many choices you can go with.
I know this is going to another fight on the card. But,
that's fine.
Alexa Grasso losing?
Yeah, so she was ranked number 3, or no, she was ranked number 1, and then now that they've updated the rankings, Natalia Silva, who just beat Alexa Grasso, is now taking her number 1 spot. So it would either be Natalia Silva would be next, or
she was a little firecracker, that one.
Yo, she's good, bro.
She was a little quick little.
I will say, people were hating on her for like moving around. I know, right?
Yeah.
But what is it? She'd be doing like Zumba kicks.
Yeah. She was just constantly, even though she was like running, I want to say running away, she was moving a lot, but striking a lot.
Yeah, high volume. That is her like fighting style. That's why I knew she was going to win because I was like, she's gonna win off of volume. Unless Alexa was able to like take her down and keep her down, she's gonna just basically like she did dance circles around her and just immediately just like jab kick, and then you have to also notice she throws that kick from like a very close distance and throws that leg up high. So like you won't even think, and she's just whoop like. If she throws it, it was like smooth combos for the most part. I think she did pretty good. Yeah, she was like you said, she's a firecracker, that one, bro.
There's one thing, like I understand running when you're not throwing punches or you're not throwing any strikes at all. Like that I wouldn't respect. But
no, she was using the movement to her advantage.
Yeah,
she
for
knew
sure.
that she couldn't get into those close exchanges with Alexa because Alexa hits hard and she's very good at boxing. So
I wanted Alexa to win so bad too.
I know, man.
I'm a big fan of hers.
I think that she's one that like she just has to make sure that she cleans up some stuff and really focuses on like her next opponents to make sure that she gets those W's because she's still ranked number 3. She gets one big win and she can get the title shot. That, like I said, that's a good thing about these divisions.
Yeah.
You don't really have to worry too much if you're in the top 5. As long as you get the next win, you should be fine. Macy Barber and Erin Blanchfield, those are like the next 2 coming up. So as long as she can beat whoever the winner of that one would be, I feel like she should be fine. But if I had to guess, Jazz Davicius also won on that card. Shout out to her. And she's either going to fight the winner of Aaron and Macy, or they may give her Alexa. And then she'll probably, depending on how that goes, she might also be in line for a title shot. We'll see, because she's sitting at number 6 right now.
The chick that beat Alexa, you think she fights Valentina next?
I think if they don't do Weili next, then it'll be Natalia for sure.
Oh, okay, Natalia.
Yeah, I think it'll be Natalia. That's at least what I'm thinking. Because in my eyes, like Valentina can have, I guess, the option since she would be the defending champ.
You think she would struggle with Natalia?
I don't think so. I think Natalia would be an easier fight for her than Weili, like a decent margin. Like I feel like if we were to talk betting lines, like Valentina would be a minus 200 versus like if she fought Weili, she'd be like an even 1-1 kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know who I guess you, because of again the weight thing, you might lean the favorite towards Valentina, but I would say like at this point it kind of seems like style, age, in just longevity in the sport, I think that they would kind of lean more towards like putting Valentina as the underdog in some matchups. But I think against Natalia, she'd be favored to beat her, and I think that she would beat her. To be honest with you, as much as I like Natalia, I don't think that's a different level, bro. The Bullet is a different level of fighter for sure, a different caliber, if you will. See what I did there? Puns, thank you. Oh man.
Yeah. Right.
Write that down. Cut that out.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna get demonetized.
Cut this shit.
BMF champion. But yeah, man, Manon did well. I think at first round she got hit really hard and got her nose busted open. I think that slowed her down a bunch. So
yeah, it usually does.
I think that she got to work on not getting hit in the face. You know what I mean? I'm not no doctor, but no, she needs to watch out. You know, she needs to be careful. She got, I think, a little too overconfident. Something about her in this lead up, like you said, you watched the Embeddeds. I felt like, I know she's not normally one to be expressive, but like something about this where, like, I don't know, it kind of gave me the energy of like she felt like she was too cool for the moment, or she was like already certain. And I know that there's something about being confident. Like, as much as we hated on it, Ilia Topuria basically spoke into existence his greatness, and he achieved it so far. Right. So I think that there's a level of like that versus like you're kind of being like too cocky, or it doesn't feel like you're manifesting things. More so you're just like, no, I'm not good, bro. I'm not good. And then you're not that good. She's good, but she's not that good.
It's different. Topuria's like really walking the walk.
Yeah.
Walking the talk.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna have that kind of attitude, like, you have to show it. I'll tell you this, she's definitely dominated some of her previous opponents. It was a concern, especially with the physical size of her, of how she was gonna do against Valentina, because she is bigger than her. But she had nothing for her. I'm gonna be honest with you. There were like moments of that fight where I was like, I feel like, a surprise, something might happen, but there was nothing like, when it came to the striking, I was like, I don't see her clipping her or anything like that. When it came to the grappling, I was like, maybe she's able to like be a little stronger than her, but then I saw once it got to like the end, I think of like the second round, I was like, nah, she don't got nothing on her. Right. That one was like, it was weird. It's like you hit these moments where like, and you shouldn't do this, but like I hit this moment where I was like, I could probably walk away from this. I don't know how this is going. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I could probably go refill my drink and go check up on the food or whatever, and I should be fine. And low-key, I was. Low-key, I very much was. And I think that's exactly how it went. But hopefully we get to see that Wei Li fight next. I think that if I had to choose what I'd want to see next, I'll always pick the super fight. I think everybody would usually pick the super fight versus like I don't know, I feel like she's known, but I don't know if anybody really knows like Natalia Silva like that much for her to be like a huge, like, you even just now you're like, what was her name? Shorty that beat Alexa. I think Wei Li has a bigger name, and I feel like that would be a bigger fight. Plus, where they're from, I want to say Valentina's from like Kazakhstan or something like that. And then Wei Li being from China, I feel like you do something over on that side of the world, and you put it in front of a crowd.
Russia.
Yeah, right. And you just have an insane crowd of both cultures.
Just Mongolia. Supercard in Mongolia.
I feel like that'd be fire, man. Let's do it. That's my thing. What I love like as much as like we always talk about wanting some more U.S. superstars, bro. You gotta love the foreign, I guess, or the international, I should say, superstars. Like, if it's foreign, I guess, because we're from the U.S., but international superstars, because you get to see these like crazy stadiums. You get to, because like, I mean, you're used to. Shout out to 806. You're used to American basketball, American football. Like you know what I mean? Like you don't really see.
Don't feel too American anymore.
Oh damn! It's like that. Damn, man. No, but I mean, like,
I know what you're saying.
It's still the same stadiums, no? It's still the same fan base, no? I feel like it's
basketball
cool.
Definitely been pissing me off, getting real international lately.
Sounds like you got some certain views, my friend. Anyway. Right. You're like, static. You're like, oh, I unplugged the mic. Oh, I don't know what happened. But you get watch the embeddeds more. And it's really cool when you get to go to these places, when they go to like the Abu Dhabis and stuff, and you get to to see these different places and the crazy arenas and the stadiums or whatever else that they build. You're like, yo, this is pretty fly. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I play UFC 5, I never fight in the US ever.
Oh, really?
Straight up, never. What is it? Etihad? I fight over there.
Young Abu Dhabi.
I pull up to Abu Dhabi crazy.
Hell yeah, with the whole shit.
I guess
the whole robe and all that.
Bro, we're gonna have an episode. We're gonna be live from Abu Dhabi. They're not even ready
live
for
from Abu Dhabi.
I
got my tiger next to me.
It won't be a green screen right here at all. It will be literally us in Abu Dhabi. Don't you worry.
Abu Dhabi.
Definitely won't have a green screen.
I have a female lion.
Okay, what's the name?
By the leash.
What's the name?
Layla.
Shout out
I had to think quick. But yeah, this is vibes, you know. I don't know if they let you smoke out there or cigars.
Maybe.
At least.
I don't really know what the vibe is. I say we pull up.
Honestly?
We pull up and we'll figure it out when we get there. We won't look into anything at all. We'll just go. Next time they have a fight night or something, we'll pull up.
I heard they don't let you be you over in Abu Dhabi.
All right, maybe that we don't
Maybe
go.
I stay here and be me. You feel me? Best way to put it, I guess.
I say we write a nice, lovely letter on behalf of Uneducated MMA. I almost messed up our own name. Uneducated MMA to Dana White to have a fight night in DR.
Oh,
and we put Waldo Acosta Cortez as the headliner.
Yeah, headliner. We got damn, that could be a fucking.
There's no other Dominican.
I know,
fighter.
but everybody
else
else has to be Hispanic in some way.
Do you count? Would you throw Brazilians on there?
Brazilians can be in there.
Yeah,
but it can't be Brazilian versus Brazilian. It has to be Brazilian versus like a Cuban or like a Brazilian versus a Mexican.
I'm with that. Heavy on the Spanish.
Heavy on the Spanish. Even if you have a Hispanic name and you're American, throw them in there.
I'm with that. Anybody that has Santos or Dos Santos, you count.
Nate Diaz, throw them in there.
Nate Diaz, throw him in there.
The Diaz brothers, fuck it. Undercard.
I'm with that. I mean, I guess he is Spanish, but Dominic Cruz. Now what about Henry Cejudo? He's big on I'm American. Like, he's Mexican, but he's big on I'm American.
Throw Cejudo in there.
Cejudo counts?
Because you need some names.
Welcome to the DR, Cejudo.
Yeah, you need some names.
Big Dominican?
Yeah, that actually can some more so known.
Yeah, people that can actually hold up the card. I get what you're saying. I mean, to be fair, we're talking a fight night. I said I gave him a fight night, not a pay-per-view. As much as I love my people, I'm gonna have to
start. We'll start
off light.
We'll start with a fight night for sure.
That'd be crazy if they sell out an arena.
There's only one. No, and then in the undercard is a bunch of
Russians. Dagestanis.
Yo, there is mad Russians out there, yo. At the resorts and shit.
You know why I want that? I want them to have some names that they could take back home and come up with some crazy Dominican names with. I feel like Dominicans really just be coming up with some nonsense, bro. I want them to look at a Makhachev and be like, I love it, it's beautiful.
Yeah. That's exactly what would happen.
A squad of Makhachevs coming up in the next couple of years. Shout out DR. We need that collab. Sure. Dominican Dagestani kids.
Yeah. It's like in Dagestan, there's a whole community of Dominicans.
Bro, we be everywhere. Somebody the other day told me that there's a population, and this is going to be a complete, Google this, because I did not Google this. This is something somebody told to me, so disclaimer on that one. Again,
yeah.
Uneducated.
Yeah, for sure.
14,000 Dominicans in Switzerland or something like that.
I heard that was a real one. I heard that was a true one.
Like, I was like, why are we in Switzerland of all places, bro? Like, somewhere I would have never guessed ever.
Extradition. No,
bro, besides Lawrence, Massachusetts, and like New York, I feel like there's apparently Switzerland we're popping. I've been told Toronto, there's a whole bunch of us, and there's a city in Japan that has quite a few Dominicans in there.
I heard what was it? It wasn't Switzerland. It was one of those countries in there, either Germany or Poland. One of those has Dominicans.
Why are we in either, bro?
I think because the amount. You know what happened? All the Europeans that travel to DR for vacation. I think they get way more vacation time than Americans.
Yep.
They just always rich Russians and rich Germans will freaking or there is a lot of Switzerland People. yeah. Going on vacation.
I couldn't guess what you were like.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word. So I just said people. But like, I think they one got married, and that's how it started. So
they started telling everybody that you go split over here.
So they started a whole family out there, little by little. It just grew and grew, and then they brought the rest of the family with them after, or something like that.
I'm with that. Honestly, shout out wherever we can be, we'll do it. Let's get that fight night over there.
Where else? We're in America.
Yeah,
it's mostly like here, New York.
Yep.
There's some New Jersey.
Yeah, some New Jersey.
There's some Rhode Island.
I feel like we don't really count for Florida. Like when you think of Spanish people in Florida, I feel like they're like Dominicans in Orlando, but like Florida, they're like
there's Dominicans like I
Cubans
got
and Puerto Ricans heavy.
Yeah, I got Dominican family in Miami for sure, and Fort Lauderdale and.
I feel like out west, you know, it's crazy. I went to San Diego once, and I found the only Dominican restaurant. This is what they told me. I don't know if this is true.
Goddamn.
This is the only Dominican restaurant in all of California.
That's crazy.
This is the only place you will find any mango or anything anywhere.
I don't think I can go somewhere that I can't.
I think that's a lot of places, man.
I know that's a lot of places.
You're really limiting yourself to like 4 spots. Actually, not really. Now that we're finding out, you got Switzerland added to the mix. You got Toronto added to the mix.
I seen like a family of Japanese people in DR.
There's a lot. There's quite a few. My favorite thing is I remember when I was a kid, I went to go visit DR, and then we went to like a restaurant called Pica Pollo. Shout out to Pica Pollo. They're everywhere. And it was just a squad of Japanese people running it, speaking nothing but Japanese and Dominican Spanish specifically to another. No English, but just that. And I was like, that's when I found out that they're like, oh no, it's just easier to go there than it is to go to the US. Yeah. They just got a whole squad that just moved there. And I was like, that makes sense. Anyway, so back to UFC. Forgot where we were for a second. Not going to lie. So the UFC 315 was a great card. I think that it definitely was something that was slept on at the beginning. There was a whole conversation about like them having a bunch of open seats and whatnot before the fight even started, before the main card started. They still had a lot of available tickets. But, you know, stuff happens. I think that a lot of people just kind of really hate on Bilal. And I think that JDM wasn't the biggest name in that division to be a fight that a lot of people wanted to see, even though... I mean, I guess it's something you would still watch on like TV rather than go. The stakes that were put on this fight in terms of like whoever wins this, it will then either be Ilya versus Islam, or we'll have Islam versus JDM, and then Ilya will verse Charles Oliveira, which we did now get with Dana White's announcement. Yeah, and I cannot wait.
Those announcements today were.
UFC 317 is Dana White's fun little announcement he decided to drop on us on my way into the studio today. We were wondering for a long time of when we were going to get International Fight Week. At this point, it's been a long time coming. It's 40 days or so away, something like that. So we were wondering, like, all right, hey, it's about time for us to get this announcement, no? He took a while, but he finally dropped it today. Again, a lot of things were weighing in, I guess, on that card because he didn't want to announce the main event without announcing the rest of the card as well, while leaving it blank. So just to quickly go over it, and then we'll kind of dive a little bit deeper into it. International Fight Week, UFC 317. There we go. I had to think about it. We're talking about 315. Now we're going to 317. 317. We'll break it down, obviously, in another episode later on, but I just kind of want to go over it just because Dana White announced it today. Again, this is breaking news, Tuesday, May 13th. Ilya Topuria versus Charles Oliveira for the lightweight championship. Alexandra Pantoja versus Kai Kara France for the world flyweight championship. Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. And I'm going to let you take that one.
Oh, well, what are we doing? Jonata Denise.
Yep, I'm going to be honest with you. I usually am pretty good with these names. That one, nah, I'm good.
Justin Tafa.
Yeah, that one's easy enough.
This was the hard one,
bro.
Jonata Denise.
Jonata.
You know that H silent.
So I guess it would be Jonata, or is it Honata?
Oh, if we're doing Brazilian accent.
They are Brazilian.
I don't do Brazilian accent. When people do the Jose Aldo, I say Jose.
Okay, I get that.
Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
I say Pereira.
Yeah, I get that.
You know,
I'm with that too.
I can't do your whole accent. I could try to pronounce your name.
I can try to do a couple.
Yeah.
Brandon Royval versus Manel Kopp. Jack Hermanson.
Oh,
no, right. Oh, no. We thought we were safe because Justin wasn't here.
No. We done fucked that name up. Oh, man. I guess you have to take a shot.
You were going to get away with it. I thought we were.
I wish you brought this out sooner.
I don't.
I just thought it.
No, I just thought about it like, see, shit, if I'm going to take a shot now, I might as well.
I don't even know who that is.
Might as well been drinking the whole time. You feel me?
They'll figure it out.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Jonata Denise.
Jonata Denise.
Shout out to Jonata Denise. That sounds like something we should say pause for. I don't know why. Something about Denise doesn't sound right to me.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad as I initially was.
Brandon Royval.
It ended better than it started. I'll tell you that.
Pause.
Damn.
Brandon Royval versus Manel Kopp.
Yeah.
Jack Hermanson versus Gregory Rodriguez. Shout out RoboCop. Or Barack Obama. I don't know. You guys look him up. You'll get it. And Vivian Araujo. Okay, that was another one that I don't really know how to say because it's like the last name. I gotta speak to more Brazilians. No, because it's more so like how do you pronounce it? Like
Which one are we looking at?
this one right here, Araujo. Vivian Araujo.
Viviane.
I'm gonna stop a Brazilian in the street and I'm gonna ask them. And Tracy Cortez. Shout out to Tracy Cortez, bro. That's, you know what I mean. Shout out.
I think they use their J's, not like.
I don't know.
They do J.
Put it in the comments.
Jose
We're
is
gonna
crazy.
get a guest on here. You know who
Brazilian,
who I want? You know who I want on here? I want Fabian on here, the translator for the UFC. That's gonna be as many guests as I have in my head for like dream guests to have. Obviously, there's a list of fighters. I want to get referees and translators on here so bad. As much as anything else, those are the people. Like I have a Herb Dean card on there.
Hell yeah, Herb Dean.
Yeah, but
Viviane Araujo.
that's going to be UFC 317. To go back to it, there was a lot riding on UFC 315 to decide the fate of this card, and I think that's why we had to wait so long. I think for a while now they've had that shot already got me. These fights have been scheduled for quite some time now, and I think that they were just kind of waiting to see. The one that's the most interesting to me, though, and I feel like he definitely had to train for both. Ilia Topuria was put in an interesting spot.
I know.
Based off of a fight that's going to be 40 days away from when you're going to fight, you're going to figure out whether or not you're scrapping against this guy. And you have to basically decide whether or not you're going to train for Islam type or a Charles type. To my opinion, are very two different fighters.
For sure.
I don't know how this one's going to go. Ilya's also moving up in weight, and I will always back Charlie Olives, Charles do Bronx Oliveira. So I'm going to go with Charles on that one just off of initial. Who knows? As the fight leads up, I might change my mind.
Yeah.
Ilya has become a fighter I enjoy watching. I'm a
big fan of Ilia Topuria.
I also can't doubt the man. Anytime he says
He's looking real strong
he
right now.
do.
Yeah, right? He's looking real strong. He's looking like he should have. He belongs in the weight class.
For sure.
He his hands, he's looking like a fucking boxer.
Yeah.
I don't know, he's a very well-rounded fighter, and I think that like regardless of who he was gonna fight, I think he honestly would have had more trouble with Islam.
I think he would have had more trouble with Islam. I think when this gets a little closer.
Off of the strength.
Off of the strength, for sure. I think the grappling would have been the problem. I think when this fight gets closer and maybe odds start coming out, there's probably already some initial odds. I think Ilya is going to probably be a favorite, if I had to guess. Charles obviously coming off a win, but also having a couple losses before that, and also the style in which he fights.
Yeah.
You see him get knocked down and then win from like a bullshit submission, or like he gets back up and somehow rallies. So someone who hunts people down to kill them like Ilya does, I don't think is going to give Charles a whole lot of options. But
he's so like poised.
He is.
And Oliveira is like, I'm actually happy for the fact that he's getting a title shot.
I am too.
Because I feel like he's been getting played for the past.
He has, but that was the thing. He was supposed to get a title shot back in like November, and then he got that cut. And remember, they had to like postpone it, and then he ended up fighting Michael Chandler again. So it's been a long time coming for him to get his title back, in my opinion. And that's the way I'm gonna word it. I don't care. There's no bias. This is my show. I don't care.
Yeah, fuck.
Shout out Charles Olives. By the way he gets that belt, I'm gonna have one right here.
So rookie and freaking got hidden.
Hair dyed blonde, beard dyed blonde, like he does. I'm gonna do the whole thing. It'll be only 2 photos. We're gonna get Waldo Acosta Cortez because he's the only Dominican in the UFC.
Yeah, that'd be
and we're gonna get
fire.
Charles Oliveira.
We
right
need
here.
like a cutout of Acosta, like somewhere out here.
Bro, you think we can get him on the show? Where is he from? I gotta figure out where he resides and figure it out and
What's
be
his
like
name?
Waldo Acosta Cortez. By the way, why Salsa Boy?
Yeah.
Dominican, Bachata Boy, Merengue Boy, any one of
Who's
those.
I think it's his manager.
Probably.
Whoever his manager or agent or whatever whoever is in charge of marketing him is at fault here.
Yeah, I think
He also is at fault for accepting that.
for accepting it, he should have planted his foot and be like, no, it's Waldo Platano Power Acosta Cortez.
exactly. Heavyweight, big heavyweight.
Big
He's
heavyweight.
literally what I would have been.
Bruce Buffer,
Yeah.
Platano Power.
He's literally what I would have been if I was in the UFC.
Yeah.
Heavyweight division.
I gotta check when I get home if he's in the UFC games. I'm gonna just do a career where he becomes double champ somehow. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I got airport mode.
R.I.P. R.I.P. We'll figure it out later. When I DM him.
Where's he from?
Yeah, when I DM him, we'll ask him. We'll see if we get in the 806
Santiago
budget.
just chilling right now.
Yeah. We'll do it. You know, even better. We'll do an on-site interview. We'll fly to him, and we'll be like, "I bet we'll pull up to Santiago. We'll have that interview." But yeah, so 315 was good. Looking forward to 317. 316 obviously is going to be in the middle. I'm going to be making a lot of Stone Cold Steve Austin jokes. Who knows? Maybe we'll all wear bald caps, those black vests, and the jean shorts for that episode. But that'd
Man.
be. Yeah, I'm thinking the costumes are going to be a vibe.
That's so cool.
That'd be really funny.
I
The
need a
glass
Stone Cold,
shattering and
yeah.
everything. We'll do an entrance. We might actually break one of the glass doors. We'll see. It's in the budget, right, guys? We'll get copyrighted again for that one.
It's like, fuck.
But shout out to you guys for watching. Shout out to 806. Shout out to A Vibe Entertainment. Shout out to Baldwin behind the production desk right now. Let's sing. Do. Shout out Nerd Gods.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
Nerd Gods as always.
Shout out.
Shout out P2P.
Oh,
Starting
yeah.
up soon, as I saw.
Soon, hell yeah. 2 courts. We're back at the zoo.
Let's see. Big ups to Bilal Muhammad. Even though he lost, I want to just give him a shout out. I want to say this. A lot of people didn't like him. A lot of people hate him. A lot of people enjoy to just kind of like roast him and be that troll on the internet. But I think
Palestinian.
he showed why he was a champion. This might have been his first defense, and he unfortunately didn't win. But he definitely showed a lot of heart, and I feel like that's got to
100%.
be commended.
They be doing them dirty just for.
Bro, people listen, this is coming from like fans of the sport. Like, as much as we like to hate on these guys, people have to understand that they're putting their bodies on the line for our entertainment. Like, these are people going into a cage to go and like swing for their families. Like, this is like, I think this is part of the reason I like the sport so much. This is as crazy, I feel like, as you can be to be like, I'm gonna go provide for my family. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't go to war thinking that they go to war. I'm gonna go defend my country or whatever it might be. But like, in terms of like, let me go put food on the table for my kids. Getting in a cage in your underwear to scrap with another grown man, gotta be up there.
Crazy.
In my opinion, that's gotta be up there.
That's crazy. Like you going and getting it.
For a 10-10 contract. Like 10,000 a win,
Yeah.
10,000 just to show up. Like, you feel me? Like, that's pretty nuts. Shout out to the UFC. Shout out to the Fighters Union that will never be. And as always, shout out to the fans. Please, guys, housekeeping notes: like, share, subscribe. YouTube, I got it on Twitter or X, Instagram. Follow 806 the show. Watch Heat Check, Sunday Conversations. Please check out Nerd Gods. Anything that A Vibe Entertainment puts out, you know it's golden content. Come on, guys, it's us. Shout out straight to the point. I need more episodes, guys. I love the first episode, and let's get more content out there. I did the shout out, I think, last episode too, so I'm going to say it again. To any North Shore podcasts that are out there, I genuinely don't care what the content is. I want to collab. I want to get more people known. I want to see more faces. I want to be able to like push more content out there.
Sure.
I think that this podcasting space in the last few years, obviously people know, is super oversaturated, and there's a lot of people that grab a mic and say all kinds of nonsense stuff. But at the same time, it also gives voices to the voiceless. So I want to give a platform for people to be able to speak on whatever it might be. Granted, this is an Uneducated MMA show, so mainly we will be talking about MMA. But at the same time, I will show up on your podcast and I will talk whatever you want to talk about. But
Trying to
as
talk about.
whatever, dog.
I'm down to talk about some shit.
You see the tangents we pulled up on him today? It's every week. I feel like we do the same thing.
Switzerland, Dominican.
Yes,
Shout out Switzerland, Dominicans.
Yes, sir.
Bello mio. Pew, pew, pew.
Repping.
And as always, everybody, I am Juan DeBread. This is the BMF champion REG. This has been Uneducated MMA, and we are out. Peace.
Yeah.